What's up, guys?
How's it?
Langosta and Jojo here with our live episode of the Rifles, Rods, and Broads.
Another live episode. This is something new for 2025. We kind of put it out into the air in 2024 and basically said that every Tuesday, well, there will be an attempt every Tuesday to do a live show for our audience of Rifles, Rods, and Broads.
Right on. So, hey, you guys, if you guys are watching us or if you're barely tuning in, please make sure that you throw some comments on, and Brian will get them splashed up on the screen there, and we'll get you interactive.
Definitely ask away your questions, and we'll go ahead and answer them. But before we get started, you know, we are here in California, Southern California. There's a Santa Ana wind event, and for those of you that don't know the Santa Ana winds, it's a pretty strong wind force that blows from the east to the west. And I just want to send our thoughts and prayers out to everybody that's being affected by the wildfires right now, and also say a big mahalo, a thank you to all the firefighters as well as the law enforcement that are out there. They're going to be working throughout the night and probably for tomorrow as well as the winds pick up. But thoughts and prayers to all the families and that are being affected right now by the wildfires, and thank you again to our firefighters and law enforcement.
Absolutely. It's a serious thing going up there. If you live up in the Palisades in West LA, it's a little rough right now.
Yeah, most definitely.
I hope that it wasn't caused by a firebug, but we got a lot of loco people here in the California state, in the Golden State.
Yeah, we were under that severe fire warning, and it's just, 10:30 this morning from my work office window. It was just like this puff of smoke, and I was like, oh, this can't be good.
Yeah.
And it's just kind of grown and grown. So we're hoping for the best. And again, thank you for everybody out there that's fighting those fires.
Right on. So, Jojo, we are talking hunting and fishing 2025. The theme of tonight's show is the goals.
What are we gonna be doing in 2025?
Yeah, well, I got a couple little ideas.
Oh yeah, no doubt. And I just want to say Happy New Year, man. Langosta, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Jojo.
2024 was a good year.
It was a good year.
It was a good year.
We went hunting. We went fishing. It was good times.
It was great times. And one of our goals was to start this podcast. And this podcast did start in 2024. I think our first episode, what was it, April?
That's right. We got, Brian, how many shows we got under our belt so far?
I think currently in the edit suite, we have episode 15 and 16.
Right on. All right.
Episode 15 and 16. Does that include the Quail episode that we got coming out?
That's right.
Okay, I think we got 15, 16, and 17.
That's right. And one in the bag of that we're planning on going out to the range pretty soon.
Awesome.
So almost 20 videos that we're working on.
Not bad, man.
Dude, it's not bad for our part-time free jobs.
There you go. It's not a free job.
It's costing us money to do the show. Guys, we lose money with every episode, so we appreciate you liking and subscribing. By the way, to our friend Harry, thanks for chiming in there. And,
he says, find these guys for being late.
Yeah, we got a little penalty. But
we got no sheriff today, so wow.
And Chuck says, I second that as press.
We are getting fined left and right. You know what that means? Our audience was kept waiting. We are on Hawaiian time.
We are on Hawaiian time. So, it happens. So, Jojo, why don't you open it up with your thoughts on your goals for the 2025?
Well, I think a lot of the goals that I have set for 2025 for myself, and as we kind of talk about this show, kind of parlay off of what we had in 2024.
Okay.
And obviously 2024 from a show perspective was all about getting the show kicked off and, putting it out there. Let's start a podcast. Let's talk about hunting. Let's talk about fishing. Let's talk about it from a perspective of California.
That's right.
Southern California. And we went from 0 subscribers to 232 subscribers now on YouTube.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Followers on Facebook and Instagram. And it's just been, we definitely want to see that grow. So one of the goals is obviously to expand our audience.
That's right. We want to get to 10,000. We're very ambitious because that's the magic number, right?
10,000 is the magic number in YouTube land. So if that's something that we can make happen, that would definitely be unbelievable. And for that to happen, we need you that are out there right now listening and already subscribed to share our show at Rifles, Rods, and Broads. So if we get there, that's big time, man.
So we also launched our website. That was later in the year. It was almost towards the end of the year.
Yep.
But that was a big accomplishment. It was not easy to get that bad boy going.
No, it was not at all.
And we got some blog articles there. I've got probably 3-4 blog articles that are in the works. Obviously they're related to hunting and fishing. Well, mostly my stuff is going to be probably guns and hunting adventures.
Yeah, so I think for us, we're coming out of our rookie season. This is 2024 was the rookie season. We are now, going into the second year of Rifles, Rods, and Broads. So it's kind of getting that subscriber crowd out there. And one of the things that I definitely want to see this year coming up in 2025 is kind of expand our guest list, right? We had great guests last year.
We did.
Our first guest, Chuck Zimmer, our president of the Redondo Rod and Gun Club.
That's right.
And shout out to Chuck, Z Customs here. I think the people that were subscribing and liking to the show noticed the cup collection that I was having, and over these past holidays, I've grown a cup collection. So I will be rotating cups throughout the different episodes.
That's a nice one.
Something to check out there. My water cup, per se.
Your hydration.
Yeah, my
vessel.
hydration.
Your hydration vessel.
So, Chuck, thank you very much for the custom Rifles, Rods, and Broads cup. Check that out. Chuck, he is turning into the ultimate craftsman at Z Customs. And take note of that. It is the 7th day of January, 2025. Z Customs. If this is the first time you've heard of the company, just wait and see. Well, he got himself a little cricket machine and started experimenting. So he went beyond rod making.
Okay.
And just kind of went off and provided this cup.
Well, we're excited to see what other stuff he comes up with for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. So, 2025, expand the audience, get some more guests. We had Chuck, we had Devin O'D from Backcountry Hunters and Anglers. That was a fantastic show. We had Misha that was joining us and talking about archery. So, looking to kind of expand that audience. We've got Chad in the waiting box, and a bunch of Chad's friends as well that he's introduced us to. So, I think it's kind of been for us kind of getting our feet under ourselves, and then now kind of expanding out, bringing people in, having guests, sharing experiences, and then also sharing knowledge. So
absolutely. I think for moving forward, we've been talking about this quite a bit, actually, about doing some listener field trips, like going to more and more, and having like a little, just having a listener night where we have some dinner over there and we get to shoot at some clay birds, and maybe have some other field. So we definitely have some episodes about kind of like knowledge that we want to pass on. For example, like setting up your hunting rifle.
Yep.
We're talking about kind of getting the youth involved, getting our kids, our younger kids, or maybe our older kids, involved in hunting and fishing, and like what that looks like, setting up their gear for them and getting them stoked on going and enjoying the outdoors, right? Because without the next generation, it's not going to be. Everybody's always getting older, right? You need some fresh anglers and fresh hunters out there.
don't we feel that every single year, right?
Yeah, no, for sure.
Oh man, that's crazy.
And part of the fun for me is sharing like the knowledge that I've gathered over the years, right? Mm-hmm. And the shortcuts and the hacks to getting the better results. So we're hoping that we can video some range time, where we actually have like a body of knowledge that we're going to share and express. So it's gonna be cool.
No, I think we're definitely going to do that, and it's going to be it's going to be great. I mean, the ideas that you've shared and the knowledge drop that you have, I still have so much to learn. So I'll be one of those youths in disguise, learning from you at the range. So I think that's going to be exciting, because there's only so much that we can do kind of through these microphones and through these cameras as we talk to people and share our podcast. So kind of being out on the range is definitely going to be pretty dang awesome. So
yeah, and we've this year I've acquired a few choice pieces that that I think would be kind of cool to talk about and shoot as we talk about them. You know,
Yeah,
I know
no
that
doubt.
you're in the works for. And we talked about this in one of the other episodes about your Matthews, but getting a new bow, preferably a Matthews.
Yeah.
So that'd be kind of a fun. If we get to go, we take our viewers shopping with us and show them the options of the bow hunting world.
Yeah, no doubt. So I think, the theme there is just kind of being out in the field a bit more and sharing with our audience some of the stuff that we're going to be doing. We took them out in the field a couple times in 2024, a few times, right? We were out there on our pheasant hunt, which we probably will do again.
Probably February. Yeah, February.
On our social media, we posted that we were out at more and more, and we're going to be out there more and more.
That's right.
So, they got a great thing going on with those cosmic clays at nighttime.
I haven't shot them yet, but I'm super excited to do that.
Yeah, I'm really excited to go on that cosmic clay shoot. So we're going to have to do that one night or one Saturday. So, we took them on a trip there. We took them on our quail trip, and we still have that episode to drop. But we've obviously been dropping some nuggets on social media as well as YouTube in regard to what that quail hunt was like. And, I think taking people out to the range, showing them, how to set up their rifle, what's the right caliber for the right situation, whether it's, hunting with a younger hunter that's just kind of coming up and making sure that they're coming up as a responsible hunter
100%.
Or going out as an experienced hunter and based on what the game is that people are hunting. So, I think field days is definitely another goal for us.
I think field days is going to be fun. So, hey, by the way, do you guys watching, for those of you watching live, excuse me, have you any ideas that of content that you guys want to see? We'd be, it's part of the fun is to bring in an audience and get your feedback and see what you guys want to see. But if you haven't done so already, man, post in the comments what you'd like to see, and Jojo and I would love to get our heads together and create some content along those lines.
Yeah, for sure. I think another thing in 2025 that we can look forward to is really involvement. And one of the ways that easily and is very fun to get involved is kind of attend some of the things that we've got going on, right? Yep. And I was talking, going back and forth via text with Chad earlier this morning. And last year, the California Waterfowl Association, the CWA, which is a big organization here in California that supports waterfowl hunting and does so much for hunters of waterfowl in terms of like land preservation and just all the conservation stuff, right? Yeah. Here in Southern California, they have a big event annually in Orange County at Fountain Valley, and we went there and we got ourselves a table
last year, right?
Yeah, we got a table last year. It was so much fun. We had a great time. I mean, it was just awesome. And some of the guys on our table actually made the CWA magazine.
Oh, no kidding.
Of the last issue.
Well, you guys got some good raffle prizes.
And got some great raffle prizes, and they're going to be offering up great raffle prizes again this year. So that's definitely an event that we're going to be attending. That is actually scheduled. They have it on the calendar for May 17th of this year in the same location. So if you guys want to come out, join us, have some fun. We're definitely going to be representing at the CWA event coming up in Orange County, May 17th.
Yeah. So I think our goal is to buy a second table, right? Have enough people. We bought one full table last year.
We did. And the goal is 2 tables this year. And I can tell you that even with that one table, we were having some fun. And I think, that was our first time being there. So we were kind of like the new guys in town. So, we walked into the room and it was like, the music was playing and they were wondering, who the heck are these guys?
This is members of the Round Rod and Rifle Rods Club.
Yeah, literally, that's what we were saying by the end of the night. But we had a great time, and there's so much more things that are going on here in California. They've got other CWA events going on in Santa Clarita. There's the Bakersfield Outdoor Expo that's taking place in March. The International Sportsman Expo is actually next week in Sacramento, and just so many different events that are out there that I think that are worth attending. And I was actually looking at some other events, because it's not just here in California that there's so many things that are going on.
Well, yeah, you got Dallas Safari Club for those international hunters or even national hunters. There's definitely a bunch of raffles and stuff for different types of hunts. That's happening in actually, I think this year is happening. I know that the Safari Club International. So you got Dallas Safari Club and you got Safari Club International. Safari Club International is going to be, I think, in February in Tennessee, in Memphis, I want to say. And Dallas Safari Club is typically in Texas. And they'll have, those are two, there's probably three big shows, but those are two of the biggest as far as international hunting.
Have you ever been to one of those?
I have. I've gone to Safari Club International a couple times.
Really?
When I was here in Vegas, yeah. Oh, man, it's awesome. They have, not only is the floor really cool with really cool taxidermy and super cool people, but you can actually pay to go to the different lectures. So they have these different classes on different stuff. Like if you wanted to learn about fishing in the Amazon River for I think they call it peacock fish. It's like,
yes,
yeah,
the peacock bass.
The peacock bass. So there's always a lecture on that, and there's definitely outfitters down there that'll take you in the Amazon. If you want to hunt Argentina, anywhere all over the world, if you want to hunt in Kyrgyzstan for sheep, there's outfitters there. You want to hunt Africa, obviously Alaska, that type of stuff. If you want to hunt Europe, they have a lot of really cool outfitters there. So it's really a 3 or 4 day show. It's not like just a weekend thing. It's pretty long. It goes like from Wednesday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when, like, I'm assuming that most of them are going to take place, or that show is going to take place in the front half of the year.
Yeah, that's their off season. So you have the outfitters that I've hunted with in Africa. They come out every year, and they'll either share a booth with somebody else, or they'll invite their previous guests and have like a dinner together down there, and just catch up and just do business and talk about the next adventures.
Yeah, something like that's like one of those things on my list of 2025. If it happens to fit in, that you may just receive like a text a week out or 2 weeks out, like, hey, Langosta, hey, I got some days. The wife's off. She actually may want to go. The kids are off from school, because I've been looking at a couple of different things. So similar to the Safari Club, the sheep show. So the Wild Sheep Foundation, they actually have a show coming up. It's actually coming up this month. It's really soon. It's January 16th through the 18th. It's going to be in Reno, Nevada.
Yeah, I think it's always in Reno. That show's always in Reno. Yeah.
That would be a 6 show to go see. And that's, an event that's over a few days. And believe me, I already checked the calendar to see if there was any way that I'd be able to go, check ticket prices and everything like that. And then also, too, later on in February, they have the Western Hunting and Conservation Expo that takes place in Utah.
Okay.
So there's quite a few events that kind of across the country really highlight hunting here in the West.
That's
and, with each of these shows, you have opportunities to enroll in raffles or auctions and kind of have opportunities that are already set. So it's not like you're putting in for out-of-state tags. You're going into a lottery, and your chance of winning a tag in some cases is a lot better than actually putting in for an out-of-state lottery to draw that tag for that particular animal. So,
and really, I mean, hunters are adventurers, right? Like that's part of the hunting part. The killing part is a very small part of the hunting adventure part, right? When you go to hunt Colorado elk, you're up there for a week, and you may or may not get a shot at said elk.
Right.
But
I know that.
Well, you're not alone. That's the norm. The norm is you see the south side of a northbound elk. And especially if you're out there with the bow and arrow. You see a lot of rumps as they're running away from you. But what I guess I'm saying is that these shows, they give you the opportunity to connect with, you know, professionals in whatever the species is that you're following, right?
Yeah.
So it gives you kind of that a little bit of confidence, especially if you're traveling somewhere. And you know, the hunts, the further you travel, the more expensive they get. So you want to try and stack the odds in your favor that you'll be able to harvest something, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, I think if you've never gone to any of these trade shows, you should definitely do it. You should definitely do it. I've been to a couple, and I want to. I really want to. I've never been to Tennessee. It's in Nashville, by the way. It's not in Memphis. It's in Nashville.
Even better.
I think so. I think it'd be a great week to spend out there. So I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I want to go. I'm fearful that if I go, I'll book a hunt. And
well, to that point, I was just going to say, if I end up at one of these shows, I'm pretty sure Pua is going to say, give me your credit cards, take enough cash to support your hydration habit, and call it a day.
Here's because $75 a day and you're good to go.
Yeah, I would likely wake up in the morning to a text message that says, hey, I just saw this credit card charge that went through, and what is this that you're spending $15,000 on?
It could get a little crazy, but it could be $5,000. You know, I don't know. I think honestly, I don't know that I'll be able to do it this year, but I would try and do a guided elk hunt in Colorado. If I got to go to the flat tops again, I'd like to do it guided on a horseback hunt. You know, that's going to be about $5,000-6,000, something like that. But I think that'd be worth it. I think the likelihood of getting one is high doing that, and the adventure, you know, the money per adventure ratio is pretty good. It's good value, I think.
Yeah, there's definitely one outfitter that I've been checking out. So, you know, at the club, the club name Broken Arrow, just so happened there's a Broken Arrow outfitter in Montana.
Okay.
And I've been following them on their social media and on Instagram and on Facebook. And they've got these different ranches that they have leases on that, you know, you're able to hunt elk. And obviously you've got to make sure that you got a license or what have you. And I've just been kind of perusing that. And
so it's like a drop camp. Like they provide the area, the camping tent.
They provide the area. They actually have like a place where you can stay, and similar to you know, other outfitters, you know, meals are actually included as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I've been hovering around that contact me button.
Yeah.
And I've pressed it a couple times, and you know, what's your first name? And I'm like,
Yeah.
So I haven't gone, you know, all the way yet, but I guess I've gotten to first base by hitting that contact button. So, you know, it's been good.
We've also talked about in the past about walking the floor at Fred Hall, or even getting a booth at one of those shows that are out here.
We have talked about that. I mean, it is a local show, and it's more of a fishing show for sure, Fred Hall. But there's a few hunters. There's a few guides. The guys that hunt out of Hoplin. What is that? Oh, their name escapes me right now. God, I'm kind of useless right now. But I went on a pig hunt with them many years ago, and they're a great outfit. They're still there. They're still operating out of Hoplin for hog hunts and black-tailed deer.
Oh, nice.
Here in California.
And,
They've got a beautiful ranch.
And also to circle back when you guys were talking about the surprises that we have for this year, friend of the show, Phil Friedman of Friedman Adventures, has talked to us so many times about being on the show. So I think we should definitely make it happen come February or March.
Absolutely,
we might see him on one of these special live streams that we're doing once a month.
Absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt. I actually think what would be a perfect time for that is maybe around the May time frame, because guess what? Last week at our meeting, we were talking about the surf fishing
That's right.
derby, the surf fish tournament hosted by the Redondo Rod and Gun Club. And guess who has to put in the labor this year?
Oh, you're the tournament director. You got to put in some time.
I've been nominated and voted in as the club's tournament director, so I'm going to have to put in some time. And I didn't have a problem with that until I found out and was reminded that the tournament director is going to be in charge of the surf fishing tournament. So we'll see what happens.
Well, and it's turned into quite the spectacle. As of last year, really, there's been a lot more involvement than we've had in the last few years. We've had like a bunch of different tackle shops and stuff participate and help us sell tickets. And all
no
that.
doubt.
We also want to thank everybody who's joining us on Facebook and on YouTube, leaving a comment. We got a couple comments here on the screen. A lot of people saying aloha.
Aloha, Auntie Miley. Puale. She's expecting a third boy coming up soon.
No kidding.
Yeah, any day now.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Chuck here is feeling a Z Custom rod raffle.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. That'd be amazing. Hey, Alex,
Ron.
where the heck's your super fancy custom cup? Oh, because he saw it on the table. I'm like, hey, man, I think somebody jacked me for my cup. Little did I know that it was actually Jojo.
It's been found. It's been found.
Chad Thomas, what are the things you should know when booking an Africa trip? How do you pick a good guide? Oh, we'll be definitely talking about that.
That's all you, man.
So, should I talk a little bit about my goals
for
for
it.
2025? All right. So 2025, I'm a little bit conflicted because I went to Africa last year. Me and the guys went to Namibia, and we had a great trip. It was an awesome trip. I've got probably 3 or 4 trips to Africa before I could say I think I'm good. My next trip, I think, is going to be back to Zimbabwe, and I'm a little worried because the prices, since they lifted the elephant import ban, have started to creep up because more people want to do that. They think that the most amazing part of hunting an elephant is bringing back the ivory, which I don't blame them. I don't really how do you say that? I don't really look negatively upon that. I think that's cool. It's part of your trophy. But if that's the only reason that you won't hunt elephant is because you can't bring back the ivory, I think you're missing out. Is basically where I stand on it. But I definitely do want to do one more. I want to take an elephant with my double rifle. I have a double rifle. For those of you that have seen my double rifle and seen me shoot it, there's some video that Brian will link there, and my little training video with the double rifle. So I want to take one with my double, and I definitely would like to hunt a hippo on land, not on water. And there's in the eastern part of Zimbabwe by the Karibi Lake, there's some areas that you could do that. So there's that. But my conflict comes from the fact that I feel like my family wants to go, but I want to take them, but I don't want to go on a hunt when they're there. And the real reason is just that hunting elephants and hunting hippos and all that stuff, like dangerous. If we went just on like a plains game hunt, no problem. They could be around. It's just that it's so gnarly that I don't want to be thinking about their safety and my safety and at the same time. Like it's just a lot to be considering. Sometimes you get into very heavy, thick stuff, and it's pretty gnarly. So I'm a little bit. That's my apprehension, and I'm I really haven't talked.
Are
to
you
anybody
set
about
on
that.
the place?
Yeah, I think that just because of all the places that I've gone to so far for like natural beauty, Zimbabwe's pretty amazing. Zimbabwe, like if you look at the topography of South Africa and the mountains, that's it, right? Like if you love hunting the mountains, if you want to hunt kudu and you want to hunt in the mountains in somewhere that it's beautiful, you'd go to South Africa. Namibia was really cool too, but Namibia was more like hunting in D17 here in California in the Mojave Desert, where it's just bare and rocky and crazy, walking on rocks and up and down cliffs and crazy stuff like that. So I thought that was cool. I don't know if I think I've checked that off my list and I'm good.
So Zimbabwe, out of your Africa trips, what number was that?
That was number 2.
Okay. So, but there, in terms of like the conflict that you have in your mind, you could go either way in terms of hunting elephant and hippo on land, or you could also hunt plains game there, or does the place dictate what you're going to be hunting?
So typically the place dictates. So where I hunted elephant last year, that is only an elephant area. There's very little plains game. I shot a on impala, but that was like luck. I mean, it was that's not the norm. You wouldn't go all the way over there to shoot an impala. Like that's just crazy. So, but if you go over to where the lake meets, the center of the lake is split between the two countries, Zambia to the north and Zimbabwe to the south. So it's called Lake Kariba. It's basically like, if you think of like Lake Mead, there's a big dam and it's a huge body of water, and it's split by the two countries. So on the east side of that, there's a ton of plains game animals, and it's mostly because it is not inhabited, so there's no poaching there. Because Zimbabwe doesn't have fenced ranches and stuff like that. It's just wild open. So what you need to do if you want to get plains game is you got to go to an area where there's no local villages around there, because they'll get poached. I mean, it's just the bottom line. They're hungry. They need to eat. So, so that area is rural enough that you can do that.
So in terms of like your guides and your guide choice, did you didn't use the same guide on each of your trips, did you?
No.
So how did you go through that process in selecting a guide and kind of, figuring out like, who am I going to go with? Because I think that's kind of one of the things that is an inhibitor to kind of booking that trip to Africa, is in terms of like trust. Like you're giving money to somebody that you're doing research online.
Yeah.
So how did you come to the decision in the guides that you picked, and what's your advice for people out there?
All right. So on my first trip, I went with discount africasafaris.com, this guy that's here in the States, and he's a broker.
Okay.
And he's pretty much vetted. He's probably got maybe a couple dozen guides that he works with in different parts, depending on what people want to hunt. So when we went to South Africa, I went through him, and we ended up at this amazing lodge in South Africa. And it was a plains game. I got to hunt my Cape Buffalo and stuff with him.
Yeah.
So I called him back for the Namibia hunt because I had no contacts for Namibia.
Mm-hmm.
So he set me up with that outfitter in Namibia, and it was good. The ranch was good. It was a good piece of land, and we had a good experience for the most part. For the elephant hunt is a totally different story. The elephant hunt,
based on the nonverbals that I see on your face right now, this is a way better. This is a great story.
The elephant hunt I bought on Facebook.
Oh, wow.
I bought on Facebook, sight unseen. Sight unseen.
Purchased?
Sight
okay,
unseen.
continue.
Yeah, so the guy put out he put out a thing that he's got, like, he had these tags, and he had these elephant tags, and they were non-exportable, and they were discounted. It was under $20 grand. It was like, I think $13,000.
Yeah.
Now, granted, look, I mean, 13 grand is like, it's not like $5 grand. But if you think about historically what people spend on an elephant hunt, which is 50, 60, 70,000, like,
jeez, that's
just not going to happen. I mean, I'm not in that pay scale, right? So that was never even an option. So when this guy posted this thing, I'm like, man, so actually, Jojo, I think it was less than that, because I think the tag to the state, to the Zimbabwe Park Service, was like $5,100.
Wow.
And then I had to pay the scout to go with us. I think it was $50 a day on a 10-day hunt. So what is that? Another $500.
Mm-hmm.
So
that alone's not bad at all.
So he said, look, if you don't get an elephant, you only pay the 50. You don't pay the tag. You pay me for the daily rate, which was another. I think it was his daily rate was like $6,000-7,000.
Sounds like a California billboard lure.
Something like that. Something like that. So like he said, if you don't, you'll have to pay the scout fee, and you'll have to pay us for driving you around and being your guide.
Yeah.
But you won't pay the tag fee. So I was like, I'm out of pocket $7-ish.
So how is all this communication taking place? Is this all via Facebook messaging, or?
Yeah, and then WhatsApp eventually. Yeah.
And were they like Googleable? Like, were you?
So I did. I cross-referenced his company name with there's an africahunting.com website that is actually pretty well regulated internally by the guys that run it. And that's where basically it's a forum. So like people will have stuff for sale. Outfitters will post a deal hunt there. So I saw his organization posting that same hunt on there, and there were definitely other guys, other Americans that had hunted with him, and they all said like, "Hey, Wayne's he's solid, he's a reputable guy, et cetera, et cetera." You know, for me, my biggest thing is like, dude, I don't know you, man. I've never been to freaking Zimbabwe,
right?
Like, that's in the that's in the bush, dude. That's like in the middle of literally in the middle of Africa. So I was like, and the guys from the club, everybody's like, dude, you're crazy. You're crazy. You're nuts to go. You're going to get kidnapped. all sorts of stuff. Like, you don't even
They're looking for your tusks.
And I never really told them that I just found them on a cold pitch from Facebook. Right. Like, so, but everybody thought it was just a bad idea. Like, I think Chuck was like, well, man, it was nice to know you. I want to shake your hand for the last time. And just tell your wife.
But it worked out.
It did work out. It worked out fine. So, yeah, I mean, this guy, Wayne, set me up with with a very senior hunter with a lot of experience, 30 years of experience. And it was cool, man. We walked, between 6 and 12 miles a day, and we hunted for real. It was a good hunt.
So you went on that hunt via the Facebook, but the other 2 hunts to Africa was on
discountafricahunts.com.
Discountafricahunts.com.
Yeah.
So if you go back to Zimbabwe, are you contacting Wayne again to kind of get the ins and outs of that hunt?
I did. So I talked to him, and he's like, "Hey, man, you can hunt with me again, and it'll be in the similar area." But he said, if you want to get hippo, and if you want to get a hippo elephant combo, you got to go to Karibi. And Karibi also has like a bonus round. They definitely have some plains game, but they have dinosaurs. They have crocs that are 16 foot long, 18 foot long.
Wow.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned, when you shoot a croc, you're doing a public service because they eat people, like a lot of people. And no one really knows because they got eaten and they're just gone.
The African version of Jaws.
Yeah, and
but they actually have the real Jaws too.
They're scary. They're huge. So that area's got, I mean, crocs that have a head of almost 4 feet long.
That's nuts, man.
So
they don't have clocks in them too, right?
Yeah,
they don't have ticking clocks.
They have all sorts of stuff that they've eaten. So look, in my mind, I don't know if I'm gonna go hunting this year. I may just take my family and go to Kruger National Park, go to Botswana National Park, and go to my favorite so far is the Wenge National Park in Zimbabwe.
Okay,
it's 1 million acres, 1 million acres. Just a phenomenal place. It's just a magical place. So
nice.
We'd probably fly South Africa to Victoria Falls and go to Botswana from there, because Victoria Falls is right where Zambia, Botswana, and Zimbabwe meet. If you guys look up at a map, look at Victoria Falls, and you'll see it's kind of like the 3 corners there. So that's your tourist area. You'll find everything you want there. It's you'll have Wi-Fi walking down the street. It's no big deal. They got banks. And then when you leave there, it's just nothingness. It literally is wild Africa.
So we are going to be following you on this journey of confliction between what Langosta does in 2025. Yeah, man. I really feel very fortunate that I've been able to travel a lot. I've been able to take my daughter, and my wife. Obviously, I'm happy I took my wife, but our travel changes you, has such a positive impact on your development, especially when you're a young person. Mm-hmm. So I feel really fortunate. Isabella's been able to go to a lot of different countries and experienced a lot of different cultures. We just went to Mexico City, went to the pyramids, and we took her along. Because she had her passport.
Because she had her passport this year. So to be able to go to Africa and see how people live, I think it's a humbling thing for Americans to see. I think it's a good thing, especially for young people to see.
Right.
It gives you an idea, a perspective of like, you know, how fortunate you are in some ways. And the other part is that I think the trials, tribulations, and the positive things, because there's definitely a lot of positive things that I saw in Africa. It isn't just poverty.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think it's good. So if I think the younger she is when she gets exposed to those things, I think the better, more well-rounded she'll be as a young lady.
That's awesome, man. On a side note, Zimbabwe is actually my favorite Bob Marley song.
Zimbabwe.
I love that song. That song is a
Zimbabwe.
fantastic song. So for 2025, you know, that sounds great. For my hunting kind of goals for 2025, there's a couple of things. For you and I think, you know, going out and going up to Lone Pine for our pheasant hunt, I think that needs to definitely be an annual event.
Yeah.
So I know we were talking about it last week, and it's looking like we're going to, you know, line something up in March.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. We talked about March or late February. Yeah.
So I think that'll be good. I also think that we're probably likely going to have a second annual quail hunt that's going to be taking place,
Yeah.
you know, later on in the year.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
That was a lot of fun.
And then for me, you know, my big game situation, it's really about kind of keeping up with the California tag and the California draw. So I'm going to be putting in for my elk tag, which, you know, I'm not likely to get till I'm 89 years old. And then I'll be putting in for the California big sheep, which I'm likely not going to get until I'm 92. And then, you know, the normal deer tags that I'll be putting in for, but also too, maybe kind of like exploring just outside of the more, you know, deer, elk, maybe trying to get in like a pig hunt here in California. I think would be pretty awesome. Annually, I always look forward to, you know, going archery hunting for elk in September. This year, because of work, I'm not sure if that's going to be working out for me, coming up later on in the year, but I'm looking and spying in October and early November, and maybe looking at more along the lines from an out of state side of house, kind of looking for a rifle tag. So,
Okay.
With that rifle tag, I'm going to be leaning on you to kind of, you know, maybe set something up that's new or sighting in something that I've already got. So we'll see what happens there.
Man, playing with some new guns is always a fun thing. Always a fun thing.
Yeah, I you know, the other thing that I think we need to do, because I honestly have not done it yet, is waterfowl hunting.
Oh.
So I need to kind of. I need to pop the cherry when it comes to waterfowl hunting.
Oh man, Jojo, we've tried
He
that.
said,
It's just look. We
Chad,
have to,
comment
we,
here.
We have to hit Chad up for that because, you know, it was we went on a wild goose chase after ducks. So it's
No pun intended.
Yeah, we'll have to lean on Chad for that. Now I got to tell you what. Last year I missed it. I came to the realization I wanted to hunt in California way too late. So Fort Hunter Liggett is definitely a good resource for deer hunting.
Yeah,
In the A zone.
interested.
But we have to get a tag specifically for the base, and there's a little bit of a rigmarole to bring our firearms. It's not a big deal at all for bow, by the way. That's actually pretty easy. And there's some either sex tags also available. So I think that's maybe something we should look at, and then that'll be my excuse to get a bow. So
Because your other one is left in Africa.
Yeah. But Fort Hunter Liggett is a really beautiful place to hunt.
It sounds beautiful, man.
If you've ever, God, it's just spectacular. It really is an awesome place to hunt. There's all sorts of, there's deep forest, there's hilly parts. It's a pretty cool place, and there's a lot of animals there because they're protected by the United States military. So there's not a lot of poaching happening at the Fort Hunter Liggett.
And they must not be gun shy.
Yeah. Man, I'm not kidding you. Every time that I've gone up there, and it's been a long time actually since I've been there. It's probably been 15 years. But I would see 20 does a day, 30 does a day, you know, and definitely every other day a shooter buck, you know. So there's bobcats there, there's elk there. It's a really cool place to obviously to go hunt, but also to take your camera and shoot some pictures of some wildlife. There's a lot to see there.
Yeah, and beyond hunting, like I think one of the things that I really want to focus in on is getting really more reps in 2025. The bummer part about it is for me, when it comes to archery, being so close to the South Bay Archery Club and having that being closed indefinitely because of the whole land situation.
Yeah.
I've got to make my way to El Dorado Park. That's on the border of I think it's Lakewood in Long Beach. But I know some of our club members have been going out there to do the shoots. I think it's actually really cheap. It's actually I think $65 a year, and that's basically your parking. But they've got an archery range over there. So
another place to shoot is Woodley Park on the other side, on the 405 on the other side of Ventura Boulevard.
Oh, really?
Woodley Park, yeah. You have to go through that insane traffic in West LA, but it is a great.
Yeah, there's
you can shoot out to 100. You can shoot out to 100 yards there.
Yeah, and I think the closest one's going to be Long Beach. They actually have in Redondo by the South Gay Galleria indoor archery range, but you can only shoot up to so far, and it's so.
I've never been there.
Me neither. I haven't. I've seen it. We could totally.
I drive by all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, we could, and it wouldn't be too bad to just let go of some arrows, and then beyond that, obviously going to shoot some lead and non-lead ammo at the range would be nice to kind of sight in the rifle.
Yeah,
so
absolutely, I like the sound of that.
Beyond that, in terms of fishing, you have any fishing plans this year?
I'm definitely going to go on our yearly tuna run,
okay,
for sure, and I'll probably get talked into going on with one of Chuck's crazy adventures. At least one.
He's coming up with some every week. There's a new one. There's a lobster trip coming up, and then I know October 5th there's another one coming up, and. Yeah,
it's been a while since we've gone lobster fishing with Fogbank's boat, so I always like that. I really always enjoyed going lobster fishing.
Well, following a lot of the guys that are here in Southern California, there's actually quite a few lobsters that are coming up on boats. So it seems to have been and is currently a great season for lobsters. So if that's your jam, go out and get them.
I like eating lobster. So yeah, I don't know. I got to do that. It's got to be. Look, it's one of those things you just got to put it on the calendar because otherwise the year will scooch by and nothing will happen.
Totally. I saw a post the other day that said, I've got all my hunting plans set, but my wife just doesn't know yet. I got to sneak those into the later months and then say, hey, babe, look, it was on the calendar. I put it back in January. It was planned out.
I've done a pretty good job of taking my wife out to some family vacation adventures, so I've got a little bit of equity built up on my hunting adventures.
Good for you, man. Smart move.
Well, man, you got to grease the wheels. Yeah.
So sorry to butt in here, guys. I was just going to thank all the viewers who have joined us so far, who left a comment for us to read, and anybody who's out there, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I'm going to go ahead and pop up some more comments on here from some of the viewers who have joined us tonight.
Konnichiwa, Erica.
Panama is great for peacock bass. I've heard that. Yes, the fish derby. I'm going to push hard on the scouts this year. Going to have some fish merit badges. Oh, that'll be fun.
That's awesome. We'd love to have them as a part of the surf fishing tournament. Harry, being the tournament director, I'm definitely going to be hitting you up.
Fred Hall, January 30th. And then PCS show, March 6th.
That's going to be awesome.
Hi. By Paul B.
Right, we got some comments there, Brian.
Yeah, a lot of people have tuned in, left us a like and stuff. We always appreciate the love. And again, just want to remind him that we'll be going live on the first Tuesday of every single month. And if that changes, we'll definitely let them know.
Yeah, we'll provide as much advance notice as possible.
Yeah. We almost had something come up today, so we might not have even gone live.
Just dodge the bullet. Hey, guys, if you guys want to go hunting with us in the beautiful Lone Pine Mountains for some pheasant, go ahead and hit us up on the comments below, and you can also send us your contact info at our website. Why don't you splash that on there for the viewers to see? That's Mullet Mail at Rifles, Rods, and Broads. Speaking of Mullet Mail, I think Randy's back in the studio over there getting sloshed.
Randy is back in studio, man.
Brian, we got some mullet mail from Randy?
You know, I checked the mailbox earlier today, and I think there was something in the mailbox for
Let me go
our friend.
Let me go get his ass. So stay tuned.
And Cousin Randy, I don't know if you guys are checking out our YouTube channel. I'm sure you are if you are listening live. And again, thank you for tuning into Rifles, Rods, and Broads. The plan is to produce one live show every month, and the tentative plans, and we've posted them on our social as well as our YouTube, is the first Tuesday of every month, 7 o'clock, 7:01, 7:02, 7:06, 7:07. It doesn't matter. It's right around that 7 o'clock hour is where you'll see the pop-up of us going live. But check out Cousin Randy's Cribs episode that we've got posted at the Carnaza Hilton, the Redneck Hilton, there in Carnaza. Cousin Randy showing us around his crib.
What's up, boys and girls? Cousin Randy over here with a 2025 Mullet Mail.
First one of the year.
Mullet Mail 2025. Cousin Randy here. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you send me your mail to Mullet Mail at Rifles, Rods, and Broads. Fresh here in my formerly nicotine-stained hands, I've got a letter from our good friend Ace from Montana. Dear Randy, let me start off by saying what an honor it is to write to you. My friends and I love your bear hunt, but as you're aware, hunting tags are getting pricier every year. One of the buds told me about going hunting in the Russia. Russia? Yes, you read it right. Russia. Yeah.
What are they hunting?
Apparently, you want to go hunt some brown bear. I responded with big heck no. Now, I'm about saving a nickel, and you've always dreamed about going on a big Kodiak hunt, but unless you want to wake up in the front lines of Ukraine next to Mr. Kim from North Korea, avoid hunting in Russia altogether. Stay out there, fellas, and Randy, what's your advice for hunting some brown bear? Now,
I'm so curious.
Son, you can't go to the Russia situation on account of you may get misidentified as a spy, and your little ass ain't gonna be nowhere with your little shotgun.
I'm pretty sure we got some rifle recommendations though.
Now, if you are considering the brown bear hunt, what I do suggest is the kind and lightly dictatorship but safe country of Romania. Romania, kids, Romania. Now, look, Randy knows best. If you are considering hunting brown bear and you want to be tight on the little on the cashola, then what you need to do is consider Romania. I'm not talking about getting yourself a wife out there. I'm talking about a legitimate brown bear hunt. If you go on several websites and you type in Romanian bear hunts, you're gonna see that the Romania is a viable option for brown bear hunting. I'm talking $5,000-$6,000, kids.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right. That includes the bullets.
Sweet.
Yeah. So what you're talking about is a bear hunt that is over bait. Now, if you don't have any scruple problems about shooting over bait, Romania could be the place for you. So think about that. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you send us your stoolies, any other content that you would like us to read on board. And if you want the sage advice of Cousin Randy over here, I'm always available to, give you some feedback on your insanely nuts ideas. All right.
Well, thank you, Cousin Randy.
Well, man, I'm glad to be here back again in 2025 here, and hopefully we'll be still employed here by midsummer as we read off your mail at the Mullet Mail at Rifles, Rods, and Broads.
There we go. And thank you very much for showing us around your crib, man.
Oh, you guys like that episode, huh?
Oh, I love that. I love that.
I'll tell you, man, that nothing was better for my romance life than that, because I got the hoochie mamas lined up outside the trailer now. They saw the sign. It's a Hilton. Hilton.
Oh, it was 3 times the reward points too, wasn't it?
It really was. Well, it's a twofer. I'm offering a twofer to come over. So, And thanks to the new sponsor, Mountain Gate, for their support with their delicious rum that has become very popular as part of that episode there. If you haven't done so already.
Supposedly
please.
it's got a strong kick and it's pretty tough going down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There's nothing better and more tasty than a hot shot of Mountain Gate in the morning.
Oh, thank you very much, guys.
Well, thank you very much, boys, and have a good 2025. See you later.
Oh, there we go. Mullet Mail with Cousin Randy. Thank you very much. Sharing some great information regarding brown bear hunting. You heard the recommendation. Google it, brown bear hunting in Romania. And as a matter of...
Always great to see Cousin Randy out here in the West Coast.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. You know, he's coming from Pensacola, Florida on a weekly basis. The miles that this guy is racking up on his Datsun is amazing.
Look, that dude could be flying Southwest. I don't know. It's hard to say if they let him back on the plane.
Oh, man.
But hey, man, Randy needs a job. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you send him some love and some mail to the Mullet Mail at Rifles, Rods, and Broads.
And his resume is not on LinkedIn; it's on LinkedIn. So check him out, Cousin Randy. Search him up. But yeah, man, it was a great 2024. This is a great kickoff to 2025.
Absolutely.
You know, the plan to go live. We've got some great goals, and we're not going to accomplish them without the listenership that we have out there right now. So cheers to everybody that's currently supporting us, currently subscribe to us at Rifles, Rods, and Broads. If you could please share, like, and subscribe, that would be pretty damn amazing.
Absolutely, guys. So there's nothing more fun than taking you out turkey rooster style. And here we go. Thanks for watching another one of our live episodes. This is Langosta and Jojo saying goodbye. Mahalo.
Mahalo. Aloha. See y'all next time. Ahui ho.